The internet, like any public square, is underbellied by a hive of scum and villainy. Picture, if you will, your average degenerate. Now make them hairier, sweatier. Now you have a pretty good mental picture of the subject of today's video, A1 Katie Cruz. This demon's presence has plagued YouTube for years. The mere mention of the name Katie Cruz has gotten countless YouTubers' videos taken down via mass reporting campaigns by a cabal of online predators. Predators who will no doubt be watching this very video right now. Predators who I'm assuming are going to try to mass flag this very video. Which, by the way, fellas, you should really watch to the timestamp on your screen right now before doing that. Do not say that I did not warn you. All right, now that that's out of the way, let me introduce you to my least favorite person on the internet right now, the out and proud, minor attracted person, Christian blogger, influencer, activist, Katie Cruz, who does not want you to know that her real government name is Callie Miller.
What we do here is go.
Part 1. The Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's explore exactly who Katie Cruz is. A blog by Katie Cruz. Who am I? My name is Katie Cruz. I'm a girl on a journey trying to navigate this sometimes frightful, messed up world. I guess you can say I'm a cartographer. As a matter of fact, I'm a map. What's a map, you ask? Well, I'm a lot like everyone else. I'm gonna stop you right there. No, the fuck you're not. I tend to find myself attracted to people much younger than me. MAP stands for minor attracted person. I feel romantic attraction to girls 14 and under. And just like other people's orientations, it's not something I choose, but I don't let that trouble me. I have still found love both ethically and within the law. And I've also lost love, and this is my story of how I try to cope with society's constructs that marginalize and often vilify people like me. But I refuse to let society define me. I know who I am. My purpose in life is to help other maps and marginalized people find peace and happiness. This is my ministry. By ministry, she means that she sees herself as a role model for younger maps. She documents some elements of this ministry in her blog. This mostly consists of her going on Reddit threads or other social media sites to give advice to people who admit they're struggling with being attracted to minors. Now, the advice, of course, is not to dissuade them from these attractions, but to help them celebrate it and further explore their sexuality, as she calls it. Katie Cruz's online presence consists mostly of blog posts and general online activism. She doesn't share her face. Typically, she will go by some sort of avatar that is an AI-generated girl between the ages of 7 and 13. She considers her sexuality to be little girl exclusive.
I have dated adults in the past. I occasionally find adults attractive. But when I'm thinking or fantasizing, it's always about little girls. I don't fantasize about adults. So I consider that being exclusive.
Katie has also made mention that she has had multiple little girls in her life. Hard to say exactly what she means by that.
When I had girls in my life, I was like a completely different person. I was just so happy, and I felt the world was right. But then when they were taken out of my life for whatever reason, either left, pulled out of my life, taken out of my life, which is kind of the inevitable thing. Like, is just always hard. I would just go into a deep depression, use a lot of substances, just do anything I can to try to take my mind off of it and just feel as numb as I can.
She also runs a map merch shop with hundreds of items of general map and some zoophilia-related paraphernalia. I apologize for the glimpse of hell you're about to experience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey there, it's Maddie.
your map-loving friend, and Pride Month is just around the corner. Are you ready to show your colors and celebrate love, acceptance, and equality? Well, I've got the perfect place for you, Map Merch Shop, the ultimate online store for map and map-adjacent communities. At Map Merch Shop we've got everything you need to shine bright during Pride Month and beyond. We've got awesome shirts, beautiful flags, colorful mugs, and so much more, all created by incredible artists like the Maddest Hatter, Anemonen, Acrylic Fairy, and Katie Cruz. But here's the best part, when you purchase select items, a portion of the proceeds goes straight to amazing map charities. It's shopping with a purpose, and it feels absolutely fantastic. From stylish flags to awesome mugs, keychains to stickers, we've got everything you need to show off your true colors. And by supporting our artists, you're helping spread love, acceptance, and equality. Get ready for Pride Month in style and make a positive impact at the same time. Visit our website at mapmerch.shop and let the shopping adventure begin. Remember, love is love, and everyone deserves to be celebrated. Let's make this Pride Month the most colorful and inclusive one yet.
Now, I first became aware of Katie Cruz, aka Callie Miller, while I was investigating an organization called MEDAL, which stands for Map Equality, Dignity, and Liberation. This is a pro-map group. On their website, they say, "Welcome to MEDAL. We are an activist organization of minor-attracted persons. Our goal is a world where maps can live freely without being judged for their orientation and without obstacles from society, have their autonomy respected, have equal rights, and achieve their dreams." On Metal's website, they have a journal dedicated to the musings of various people in the map community. One particular article immediately caught my eye, titled, "Why Did God Create Maps?" This was my first introduction to Katie Cruz. In this article, she writes, "As a Christian, I am often asked about the intersectionality between my faith and my orientation. I've researched and written extensively about it on my blog. To answer the initial question, why did God create maps? Simple. God needs people to love, advocate, and care for children. The meaning of mapness has been stretched and skewed over the years. The literal meaning of mapness is love for children. It wasn't God's law that mapness is considered wrong or evil. Naturally, some of the adults who loved children developed an intimate bond with them, and a sexual relationship developed." This goes on for a little bit, but they conclude with, "Mapness being wrong or evil is a modern social construct that shifted the Overton window and evolved into man's law." Naturally, my curiosity had been tickled, fondled even, by this character. This launched me into an investigation resulting in a 40-minute expose in which I uncovered a multitude of concerning details about Katie Cruz, including her attempts to romantically pursue a 10-year-old girl she knew in real life. The video was received quite well. However, a mere few hours after I'd uploaded it, I received an email from YouTube.com. Imagine my shock when I found that my video exposing someone who is actively preying on children was removed from YouTube for violating their child safety policy. I don't know if it was backwards day over at the YouTube office or something. Naturally, I appealed the decision, and some supposedly real-life YouTube employee with a brain looked at my appeal and said, "No, you know what? We're gonna side with the on this one. We're going with the actually. The map, sorry. YouTube, I didn't use a no word. I said map. Something felt a bit off, though. I simply couldn't imagine that some YouTube bot found keywords it didn't like and just decided to axe the whole video. In my research of Katie Cruz at this point, though, I was privy to the fact that she is known for taking down any and all videos online that talk about her. She does this through fraudulent mass reporting campaigns. One instance in which she did this was against a YouTuber by the name of Gone Fishing, who did a video about her which she successfully got taken down. In this instance, Katie Cruz and her cohorts were openly talking online about their tactics for fraudulently removing videos. When the video goes up, be sure to spam report it for harmful/dangerous acts, and the fact that Gone Fishing had announced the video before it came out didn't help a lot because it allowed them time to all organize around reporting the video the second it came out. Update on the Gone Fishing video. It seems the actual release date is going to be Thursday, which aligns with the release dates of the rest of his videos the past few uploads. I will be posting any noteworthy information from Gone Fishing's Discord server. Get ready to mass report the video when it releases. Now, historically, Katie Cruz and her fellow maps have resided on the Mastodon server Map Support, which states this is a server for queer people and paraphilias and allies. Please read and respect the rules, especially about illegal content. Upon registering, you will be manually activated. And you see we have just about 300 active users in the Diddler Squad here. So knowing that this is how Katie Cruz operates, I found it exceedingly likely that the Diddler Squad might be behind my video being taken down. Now, the map support server is an extremely tight-knit and secretive group. However, Katie Cruz, in her infinite wisdom, created a Blue Sky account in which she mirrored all of her posts on map support. And as it turns out, the day my video was released, we find a post by Katie Cruz on the server, Mass Report Time, with, you guessed it, the link to my video. Now, funnily enough, I put out a video a few months ago titled How YouTube Protects Predators. YouTube, by the way, set that video to limited monetization, which means it doesn't show that video to anybody. So great accountability there, YouTube. Keep it up. But in that video, I explained how I followed the breadcrumbs to the Mastodon server. And the day that video went up, Katie Cruz's Blue Sky account that was bridging from the server mysteriously disappeared. So we've got her on the defensive at this point.
Part 2. A silver bullet.
I still have a serious problem on my hands, though, which is that the second this video goes up, it will be bombarded with hundreds of false complaints. Complaints which I, as a YouTuber with a humble 15,000 subscribers, am completely defenseless to. What's more, given YouTube's merciless strike system, my channel could be in danger of deletion if I fall prey to more of these attacks. How do you fight something like that? How do you fight something like that? I need a silver bullet, some sort of mutually assured destruction, an ultimatum of some kind. Now, what counteractive offensive measure could I possibly take in a situation like this? This is Katie Cruz. The original idea was to get a life-sized cutout of an actual picture of Katie Cruz. This is an actual picture of Katie Cruz. It ended up being the size of a fucking elephant. But face to the name, there she is. Big Katie meet little Katie. I'm going to address the real Katie right now. Katie, if this video gets taken down, I'm going to pack up Big Katie in my Subaru. I'm going to drive to Shelbyville, Indiana, and I'm going to stand on a street corner and tell everyone who passes by who you are and what you tried to do to that 10-year-old child. To be clear, if the video you're watching right now gets taken down, Big Katie goes to Indiana. If the video gets a strike of any kind, whether you did it or not, Big Katie goes to Indiana. If the video gets limited monetization, you guessed it, Big Katie goes to Indiana. Now, the rest of you are probably thinking, why Shelbyville, Indiana? Keep watching.
Part 3. Lucy.
One key feature of Katie Cruz's blog is something I've termed the Lucy Saga. The Lucy Saga is a collection of roughly 40 sonnets of affection directed towards a young child by the name of Lucy. Now, Lucy isn't the actual name. It is a pseudonym according to both Katie Cruz and my sources, more on that later, for a child that is the daughter of some of Katie Cruz's friends. These two friends and Katie were all friends in high school. The two friends grew up, fell in love, married each other, started a family. Katie Cruz has been close to the family the whole time, close enough to even be a babysitter to Lucy. In 2021, Katie gives an account, speaking of Lucy. It'll be 8 years before she's 18. I don't know if I'll see her again before she's 18 or even after. Am I delusional to wait for her that long with no guarantee we'll end up together in the end? I don't really want to be with anyone else, though. So this is in 2021, and she's saying in 8 years, Lucy will be 18. I'm terrible at math. This took me a second, but if you crunch those numbers, that means in 2021, Lucy was 10 years old. However, Katie's first mention of Lucy in her blog is in the year 2018, meaning at the time that Katie first starts documenting her sexual obsession with this child, the child is 7 years old. I went over to my friend's house, and as soon as I came in, Lucy came running to me, wrapped her arms around me and her legs around my leg. I bent down and kissed her forehead and hugged her. She asked if I wanted to see her toy house that she was painting, and of course I did. Gonna be an artist when she grows up. We then go into gratuitous detail about Katie touching on, tickling, and cuddling with Lucy and her younger sister. Some play that for some reason Lucy's parents viewed as innocent, despite the fact that according to Katie, Lucy's parents were aware of her quote-unquote orientation. This is something which Katie affirms in an interview she did with two other wastes of air.
Back in the days of MySpace, I thought, well, everyone knows me. Everyone knows I'm a good person. They know I would never hurt anyone. I gotta tell them my feelings. And I came out, said I love little girls. And well, that was kind of dumb. I've lost like 2/3 of my friends. Some of my family disowned me. After that initial thing, like most of my closest friends, they stayed with me. I became the butt of every joke and stuff. And I didn't mind that. Like, oh yeah, I did it before puberty does.
Yes, according to Katie's blog and interviews, many of her friends, including Lucy's parents, were aware of her condition. She lost about 2/3 of her friends, but the rest stuck around, and it kind of just became a joke in the friend group. Now, as a member of the FBI, I will be revoking these people's parental licenses. Later in 2018, we have an account. I seen my lovely Lucy twice today. I went over to their house and Lucy opened the door. She was talking to Lucy's mom for a bit, and then Lucy came out wrapped in a blanket. She came right up to me and landed on my lap saying she wanted to sleep next to me. Oh man, I melted on the inside. We then have another long and gratuitous explanation of Katie giving Lucy a back massage. Obviously, we're not going to go into that, but that's on the blog. We have another account, this one a bit of a fictionalization, a fantasy. I walked into the kingdom of heaven. Everything was clear and detailed. It was like my senses were magnified and I could see everything with such brilliance and intensity. As I walked, Lucy appeared in front of me. Katie, I've been waiting for you, she said. She ran up and wrapped her arms around me. She was still a 7-year-old child. In front of us on the beach, a man appeared. He was Jesus. He was God. He was the Holy Spirit all in one. Lucy and I both fell to our knees and bowed our heads. God reached down and took our hands and pulled us up. Welcome home, Katie, he said. I was in awe and adoration. I was completely humbled. The creator of the universe was standing in front of me and giving me personal attention. I started crying. I'm sorry, I said. I remembered every sin I ever committed. Everyone? We including all of those? Katie, are we including everything in there? God was still smiling. Katie, everyone in heaven has a job. I looked up and finally understood. He didn't even have to explain. The trials I allowed you to go through on earth prepared you for your job in heaven, God continued. I'm her caretaker, I stated. Yes, you showed great love and compassion for children all of your life, and especially for Lucy. You resisted the temptation of lust. Have you read your blog? You dumb bitch. Have you read your blog, you stupid fat bitch? Your greatest gift came from your greatest temptation. You and Lucy formed a bond that could never be broken. Now you will be her guide and mentor for all eternity, and she will be your pillar to lean on for love and companionship. You are soulmates. Now here we don't have the full story, but what we do know is somewhere along the way, Lucy's parents looked at each other and said, you know what, hon? That friend of ours who is an open, minor attracted person, I'm starting to think that she might have some romantic feelings towards our very minor daughter. At this point, they cut ties with Katie Cruz. And we get this post from 2020. I just got home from work. I'm lying in bed and I'm all emotional missing Lucy. What did I do to deserve this? How do you get over someone you love that is taken away from you? It's not even like she was a girlfriend who dumped me. It's her parents. How do you cope with that? A short while later, we get added Lucy as a beneficiary to my life insurance policy. Put a clause in my will that if she's under 18 at the time of my demise, it will go into a trust fund that her parents can't touch. That way they don't smoke all her money away, and maybe she can do better for herself. My friends say it's a nice thought, but probably futile. They're probably right, but people have done stupider things for love. What follows from here is a constant stream of bemoanings and depressed ramblings for the next 5 years of Katie longing for Lucy. Notably to me, it includes another fantasy, this time not heaven, but the end of the world. The nukes are coming down, and Katie happens to be in the same location as Lucy and her parents, and Katie asks Lucy to marry her. I pouted my lips and she planted a passionate kiss on me. I looked at her parents, and with only a few minutes until midnight, they didn't seem to mind.
Part 4.
Who is Katie Cruz. I already told you her real name in the intro of this video, but we have yet to connect the dots, and I've been tickling your balls about it for long enough. But to answer that question, we have to introduce a new player. Riata, who also goes by Sierra Adair, is a TikToker and CSA survivor and advocate. A while ago, she became aware of Katie Cruz. Riata made a TikTok in which she explained the lore behind this fine character behind me, including the Lucy saga, and made a plea to her audience to help them find this person and the parents of Lucy, to let them know that this person still very much had intentions toward their kid.
What I'm hoping is that if we can push this video out there, maybe the parents of this child can come across it, put two and two together and realize that this is the person that they used to know, and they can be more aware that there is literally a person out there waiting for their child to turn of age. I am desperate to get this video in front of them, and even more desperate to talk to them, because I have tons and tons of evidence, I guess you could call it, as to the way this woman thinks about their child. Please help me. Please interact with this. Please push it as far as you can. We need to find these parents.
After this call to action, she began receiving some tips from online sleuths connecting Katie Cruz to a certain someone named Callie Miller. Callie Miller's online presence isn't too out of the ordinary. Like Katie Cruz, she also has her own personal website and blog. She has a YouTube channel. The evidence Riata had connecting Callie Miller to Katie Cruz, however, was a little bit lacking, at least upon her first TikTok on the matter.
This picture was posted by Katie Cruz of a merchandise that they had created of the map flag. Pay close attention to that wristband and to the belt and pants that they're wearing. Oh, also that wig. Callie posted pictures on their Twitter of them, and you could see a very similar wristband on their wrist. Not to mention, this is Katie's picture, this is Callie's picture. Same belt, same pants. Also, this picture posted on Callie's kind of looks like that same wig, right? Okay, you can chalk those up to coincidence, whatever. This was posted on Katie's map profile that she has. Notice in the corner, down at the very bottom, all of the different apps. This picture was posted on Callie's Twitter. Look at that. Look at all those little apps down at the bottom.
This didn't exactly sell me. Someone having a similar belt or similar pants or a similar wig, not exactly airtight evidence. On the claim that they have a very similar desktop, I've put them both together here. You can see that most of the apps are stock Mac OS things, and of the non-stock apps, there are a few in common, yeah, but they're all very popular apps. Photoshop, OBS. Riata, however, was pretty convinced that Katie Cruz is Callie Miller, and I did agree that there were some suspicious ties there, but I wanted something a little stronger. So I reached out to Riata, who said, unfortunately, the most solid proofs I have of Callie being Katie are things I haven't publicly shared, and I am leery of them being shared. At which point she referenced a few things to me, which I will not share per her wishes. But the boldest thing, which I can share, is that Riata got in contact with two parents in Indiana of a small girl who believe that their girl is Lucy, as appears in the Lucy saga, and who also believe that Callie Miller is Katie Cruz and is after their young girl. In 2023, the parents of this child tried to get an order of protection against Callie Miller, an order which was denied by a judge of the name Jennifer Kinsley. The petitioner has not shown by a preponderance of evidence that harassment has occurred sufficient to justify the issuance of an order of protection. It is therefore ordered by the court that the petition for an order of protection is hereby denied. It feels as though everybody is so close to connecting Katie Cruz to Callie Miller, but can't quite bridge that gap. Of course, I don't just have a 7-foot poster board of Callie Miller behind me for nothing, because as it turns out, Riata's TikToks led to an online war between herself and the Diddler Squad. And in the heat of battle, Katie Cruz, again in her infinite wisdom, showed her entire hand. Let me explain. So in the fallout of these TikToks, Riata was swarmed by Diddler Squad members sending her all sorts of lovely messages, as I'm sure you can imagine. A lot of them taunting her about the death of her sister who had passed away many years ago. Katie sent a very long, rambly email to Riata referencing that her and her team were forming plans to dox her out of vengeance. To be fair to Katie, she did in that email say, I'm not actually going to dox you, I'm going to show you humanity instead. So, you know, we have the humanity queen over here. Katie even started crowdfunding for a defamation case against Riata. I have talked to a few attorneys and they believe I have a defamation case and are willing to take it on. One of them quoted me a $10,000 retainer. Another quoted me a $25,000 retainer. The retainer is usually just a start. There will likely be more costs associated with it. Let's see how close they got to their $25,000 goal. $545. So they're getting there. Point is, things are getting pretty ugly right now. And in the midst of all this back and forth, Katie Cruz goes on a Diddler podcast. Yes, they have Diddler podcasts, if you didn't know. And straight up just admits that Riata successfully outed her. Meaning she is affirming that her real identity is, in fact, Callie Miller. That's the only way to interpret what you're about to hear. Now, in this audio, she does refer to Riata as Sierra Adair. That's Riata's real name, as opposed to her TikTok handle. That's not a dox. That's publicly available, but that's why she's saying Sierra instead of Riata.
I figured I was maybe a month or two away from coming out. And then Sierra Adair, TikTok bitch, just finally, after 2 years, just puts all this stuff together and just outs me. And even though I was planning on coming out, and even though her outing me really didn't affect me, it was still traumatizing because I guess someone else was controlling the narrative. And she was basically questioning for speaking against my character. And that's one of the things that just like really makes me mad. Just basically telling everyone that I was a predator, that I was harming Lucy, and that I had all these bad intentions. Just making up a whole bunch of shit.
It seems that Callie has a very unfortunate habit of getting very sloppy under pressure. Now, I'm about to call back a character we talked about before. Gone Fishing, the YouTuber who Callie ran a successful mass reporting campaign on. On a YouTube alternative site called Free Speech Tube, Katie Cruz's account uploaded a 10-minute video in which she is attempting to make fun and dismantle the arguments of Gone Fishing. The idea behind the video was to dress up as Gone Fishing and make a parody video in which she sarcastically dismantles all of his points. Now, the only problem with the premise of this video for Katie Cruz is that it involves her showing her real face, and it's Callie. There she is. There's our girl. Hello. Now, when I made the aforementioned video, How YouTube Protects Predators, I was wary of the fact that this video was up there on Free Speech Tube. But I didn't want to play my hand quite yet. I did, however, lightly reference it without mentioning what the video was or where it came from.
But here's the thing, Katie. I'm smarter than you, I'm better looking than you, and I don't like losing, so I'm gonna win. This is you, by the way. This is you, by the way. I didn't want to throw out allegations without evidence.
Now, unfortunately, the day I put out that video, Callie saw it, realized she'd played herself, and took the video down from Free Speech Tube. Which is unfortunate because that was the strongest possible proof we could have that Katie Cruz is Callie Miller, and now it's lost media. Hold on. Was that a sigh of relief you just breathed, Callie? You fucking dumbass. Obviously, I saved the video. Would you think I'm stupid or something?
Hi guys, it's me going. Fuck, I forgot my mustache. Manly.
So I'm making another video about Katie Cruz, and she's kind of Going fishing, back at it again with a video about Katie Cruz. Damn, she's hot. Wish I could hit that.
Callie, what, are we being real right now?
Yeah, defamation, because everything that has been said about Katie is totally true, right guys?
Callie, truly, truly riveting stuff. I think the music could have been a little bit louder, but aside from that, I'd say you thoroughly destroyed him. So now we know that Callie Miller is Katie Cruz, which brings us to the next question. Where does Callie Miller live? Now, YouTube moderator, whoever this gets sent to, I want to be very clear. I am not doxing anybody in the following segment. I am not doxing anybody. Everything I'm about to share is publicly available online. It wasn't leaked by anybody. Now, Callie herself is no stranger to doxing. That is her first move anytime she receives public criticism. Well, sorry, her second move. Her first move is to run a false flagging campaign against the video, get it taken down, then, out of vengeance, dox and harass the person who made the video. I have yet to be doxed. I feel a little left out. They haven't seemed to have found a way to find me yet, which, by the way, Diddler Squad, little pro tip. It's honestly really dumb of me to have this up there, but if you go to my Shopify store and buy one of my Slyboy shirts, I just send those bitches out from my house. My return address is right on that thing. It's bold of Callie to employ doxing so rabidly when her own location is so damn easy to find. Over on Callie's Blue Sky account, in her profile, she links the Shelby Lighthouse. This is a personal project of Callie's, one that she has posted about a lot. If we look into the Shelby Lighthouse project, we find that the Shelby Lighthouse is an independent digital signage board located in Shelbyville, Indiana. It displays a progressive political and social commentary along with the community and public service announcements. The content is independent and will never be influenced by corporations. It is a computer monitor that Callie has pressed up against a window in her neighborhood. Groundbreaking stuff. But point is, that's Callie Miller's house right there. And what's more, she just told us that it is located in Shelbyville, Indiana. I am blurring out the house because I think it's very likely someone from Shelbyville, Indiana could come across this, and I don't want to be responsible if anybody shows up to Callie Miller's house. To be perfectly clear, do not show up to this house and do anything. There's no sarcasm there. There's no dog whistles there. This person is unstable. She also mentioned on that Diddler podcast that if someone showed up to her house, she would shoot them with a gun. So you don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that. She definitely doesn't want you to do that. Nobody do that, okay? We all cool? Cool. I'm like your biggest enemy, Callie, and I'm concerned that you just have your house publicly online. Take this down, please, for your own benefit. If not for your benefit, your mom's benefit, because I know this is your mom's house. I know you pay them rent. Now that I've spelled out how I've proven who you are and the town you live in, let me harken back to my initial ultimatum. If this video goes down, Big Katie, you know where she goes? Yeah, she goes to Shelbyville, Indiana. I don't want Big Katie to have to go to Shelbyville, Indiana. That's up to you, though, how that plays out. And to the rest of the Diddler Squad, if you're thinking of flagging this video, just keep in mind, it's gonna be your fault that Big Katie and I show up in Indiana. And all of the people in Callie's town are gonna hear all about the guy standing on a street corner with that monstrosity and a big, thick-ass binder exposing everything she's written about online.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Now, I could end the video there, but there's one thing we haven't discussed yet. Callie Miller's Christianity. I happen to also believe in Jesus Christ. I didn't mention that in either of the other two videos I made about you, Callie. But since you got my last video taken down, I'm a little pissed off, so fuck it. Let's talk about your Christianity. In the two videos I made prior to this, a natural temptation for me would have been to go on some sort of rant about how you, Callie, can't be a real Christian because a real Christian would know not to hurt children in this way. But I didn't do that for a couple reasons. The purpose of those videos was to expose you, not protect Christianity's image. What's more, it's a very weird thing for me as a Christian to wish that you are not a Christian. I want you to be a Christian. I want you to know Jesus. But I will say this. In Matthew 18, Jesus Christ sets a child on his lap, and he says this to a whole crowd of people. If anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. So it is not my place as someone who is not God to say whether or not you, Callie Miller, are a Christian. But what I can say is that Jesus wants you dead. And you have to be pretty fucking bad for Jesus Christ to want to slide on a bitch. Thanks for watching.
Early.
Should've got